Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a hangman game written in a programming language called 10th, which is an imitator of 4th, and we've implemented the compiler interpreter for it. Today we're focused mostly on the hangman code, but once we get that working, we've got some ideas for how to improve the compiler and interpreter, and we'll go on to those. Before we go too far, a reminder, I'm going to be out of town starting Wednesday, basically Wednesday through Wednesday. So no session this week, Wednesday or Thursday. And then next week, the only session will be Thursday. I've got a new project I want to start, and we'll pick up there, at least the intro there. So next week for that. Okay. Well, all right. Draw remaining body parts. Print game over. Yeah, so we're going to get enough of this done that we can run the game for real and fix anything in there. And then what I want to do is some of these more back-end things. One was this thing about relocatable addresses. They didn't work in the code segment, but I'd like to try putting them in the data segment. And this would be an initialization for our predefined operators, basically, or predefined keywords. And then the other two things are the access, well, stack underflow, overflow, we haven't checked, and also array access. We don't keep the count anywhere. We just allocate the storage to that count. But I think we could probably keep the count before the storage and then validate it as we access things. So I'd like to do that. And if we finish those, well, we'll see where we are. I might want to take just a tour through the code we've done over the last few weeks, both assembly level and our 10th code. All right, just as kind of a final review of the whole thing. Okay, so let's run our, well, let's do a make clean, a make. We'll make sure all our tests are still running like they're supposed to. Okay. Lots of green. Good, good. Okay. I'll have to count our tests one of these days, but we got quite a few for a program this size, and they're all appear to be passing. So cool. All right, and then let's run our app, make REPL, and we need hangman. Okay, and I didn't see any red, but let's scroll back just to be careful. That code's getting up there too, isn't it? Okay, good. Okay, so, well, we did this test. Test update wrong body, good. And we had test draw head. Okay, so where we are now is we have our draw head routine that figures out the right column and row. It gets the column and row of the kind of bounding box for the body. I guess I can look over here. Well, we don't have a body in this one, but you know, somewhere in here underneath the rope is the bounding box for the body. So we give it the top left corner. The head is on the first row, so it just adds 2 to the column and draws the code that it should. Okay, so we haven't done the rest of the thing at all, but I think I want to move. So I believe we can write the routine that says print the errors based on the count of the number of errors that we have so far. Okay, so we have this wrong guesses array that's got items in it, 1 letter per miss on our guesses. Okay, so to do that, well, all right, I'm going to leave the test draw stuff here for now, but I think it's clear we're going to need we'll need to move it to a different file at some point, to our test file. All right. Oh, and let me run the test too, just the whole set. We've been doing TDD and definitely are able to make errors. Okay. And let's go test all. Okay, so lots of prints, but no errors shown. Good. All right. Okay, so my thought for this is we're going to have an array of routine names, and the routine name corresponds to the number of errors. So if you get 3 guesses wrong, we're going to call 0, 1, and 2. So everything less than the count. And so the 0 routine is going to draw the body, the head. The 1 routine is probably going to draw the torso. The 2 routine is going to draw the arm, one of the arms. Okay. And the test for this is really, do you call the right number of routines when I give you a count? Okay. So, well, this is draw whole, well, draw, I don't know, partial body. Okay, and semicolon. All right, and then so we'll put that our usual stack check in. Now usual after screwing it up a number of times. Act and assert. Okay, so I'm imagining I guess I'm imagining you'll pass in an array. Let's just make 5 array, draw a partial array. Okay, and this is, maybe it's test partial array. Okay, and I think that's a start. Oh, we'll have to initialize it. So we'll need another routine. Test draw helper. And what I'm expecting this to do, I don't know, is it enough to get a count of these things that got called? I think maybe it would be. I'm thinking of a sum. Yeah, maybe it's a sum. So let's do var test draw sum. And I'm thinking of putting in bit flags is where I'm going with this. So is he going to need that? No, it's just going to be a count. I'm not going to make it too crazy. Okay, so test draw helper. Well, let's initialize it. Test draw sum 0 at equals. Okay, so set test draw sum to 0. Let's set test partial array at 0 should be test draw helper. Okay, so this is how we're getting the indirection. Yeah, maybe that would be better. Yeah, let's do that. 1 and 2. Then we'll know we're calling the right routines, and that's probably worth something. Okay, so that one is helper 1. This one is helper 2, if I can type it. Okay, so that's set up for the, I'm assuming we'll pass partial array and a length, so maybe I should say that. Test partial array and a length of, this is how many wrong things. Well, the easy test is probably 0. Okay. And let's make this 1. Yeah, that's easy. And this be 2. Okay. And then I think for 0, we'll just put the 1 in there. Okay. And then at the end, there's no value to verify. There's nothing should have been called. Okay. No 1 or 2 on stack. Okay. Or, yeah. Well, maybe I can be more operational about it. No draw helper was called. Okay. And that means the stack is empty. Okay, so I have this, I have that. This should go to draw partial body. Okay, give it an array, give it a count, and then it calls those routines. I think that should suffice. Okay, and here's draw partial body. And we'll just make it 42 for now, just so it'll break. Okay, so test draw sum. Okay. Okay, I think that will do it. Let's take all this. We should be able to append it here. Nope. Draw partial body. Oh, I didn't make a colon with it. Did I miss any others? Sure enough. Let's try again. Hopefully it's not too messed up. Okay. So now I should be able to call this. It should run. It should fail. 42 on the stack. Okay, good. So we expected nothing to happen, nothing to be pushed on the stack, and we got a 42. We could have left it doing nothing. The test would have passed. But now I'm going to take that. Let's see. Is that enough? Let's make this no errors. Okay. And then to prove it's not enough, well, clearly we can just delete this and it's going to pass, but I think we can jump a little bigger step here with errors. Okay, so now I want to get test draw helper 2 in there. And partial array, yes, but let's pass 2. This should be array slot 1. And yeah, I think that'll be okay. Okay, so this is no draw helper, but this one expects, we expect 2 on top, then 1, and then our guard word. Okay, and so we reset the sum, we stick 0 in, and you know what? I'm going to be a little extra careful here. Okay. Well, let's just make sure something will blow up if they access outside it. I don't think we will have to worry about it, but it's okay. All right. So we expect this to come in with 2 and say, while it's less than the count 2, then print, call that routine. So we expect 1 to be called, then 2, so that we get the values on the stack backwards. Okay. Yeah, let's pick up from here. And I can call this. And this should pass. Oh, did I not delete it? Oh, it's still the original. Okay, so that's okay. We'll replace those shortly. All right, so the 2 is wrong. It got a 42. The 1, I don't know how it got a 1 on the stack. But yeah, it's pulling stuff, and this is Lily's instead of 22202. Okay. So, let's go back. All right, and now I want to write some code. So partial body, well, we got the array and the count. The one is left over from the other test. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Okay, and then the input is count array. Okay, so what's going to be handier? I think let's make a variable. Drawing array, and we'll store the, well, that sounds like I want them in the opposite order, doesn't it? Okay, so this is really in array, then count. No, count. Always come backwards. Array's in front because it was pushed last, then count. Okay, array count. All right, so now a drawing array is going to be equal to the array. Okay. Do we need to pass in the coordinates? Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so let's see what we have on those. Yeah, it's just the routine. Well, we need that too. It's too much stuff. Test draw spy. Well, no, it's this. Wait, where's our actual draw routine? Draw ahead takes column and row. Yeah. Maybe we better keep our counter outside too. Okay. Well, let's define those. Column, where's going to be the right place for these? Well, row 2, column 3. Okay. All right, so this gets rid of the array from our stack anyway. That's going to help some. All right, but kind of what we need to do, I guess, is really keep that counter available. The count is the limit. Let's make another one that's the draw count. Okay, and we'll make that 0. Okay, so right. So while I guess it's really while draw count is less than our count. Okay, so let's while draw count less than draw count at. Okay, so while that value is less than, I guess it's the other way around. If count is on top of the stack, let me change the order yet again. Just trying to keep it to the most convenient place. Okay, so count is going third all the way in. Okay. Right. So while our count of rows we've drawn, no. Well, let's do our dupe thing. So we have count there. Okay, duplicate the count. So yeah, let's just start keeping track. Count, call row. Count, call count, column, row. All right, and this is boolean based on count. So boolean count, column, row. Okay, and then that leaves us count, column, row. Set draw count to the count of decremented. I guess, yeah, we'd yeah. Well, I think I want to make the routine just do the job from scratch. I mean, that's kind of where we are right now. Is the whole thing is just refreshing the screen. We haven't tried to be incremental about it. And given, I mean, we're talking, 25 characters here. I'm not going to worry about it too much from that sense. I'm not sure. Saying they count to 0 and decrement, and then I got to write things backwards and stuff. That feels just as painful, I guess. All right. This I know I'm calling the routines in order. That seems like a good thing to know. All right. So I have count. Okay. Well, count is less than or equal to, no, it's got to be less than draw count, right? while count is less than the limit. Maybe limit's a better word. Okay, then I'm going to do my loop. When I get out of my loop, I probably need to pop 3 times. And make an empty. I mean, it's not really empty. It's empty as far as as far as these values. All right, so the count is less than the draw limit. Then I want to use count in the access. So I'm going to duplicate it again. And you know what? Am I going to do that? Well, somewhere I have to do a call. All right, so I need to do something about drawing array. The index is on top. Right. No, I think this is. I don't know if I just need to swap it around. It's really hard to keep track of 4 things on the stack. That's a definite lesson. All right. Well, at some point, drawing count is on top of the thing. I'm going to call drawing array, and then yeah, it's just too tricky to keep track of all those. I'm gonna have enough trouble duplicating row and column. Draw count. Okay, so draw limit is 0, draw count is 0, drawing array is the thing we're going to call. Yeah, maybe. I guess it doesn't matter what order I draw them. Yeah. Right. Somewhere I have to do a dupe 2 on column and row. I know that. So I'm thinking this will do it. But yeah, let's take your idea. Drawing limit. Well, okay, the array's on top. Let's take care of that first. Sorry. Okay, so draw limit, we're saying should be the count. Swap add equals. Okay. All right. But we don't want to do the first value. We need to draw the one before, but let's take this off. Oops. Okay, so we come in with column and row. We want to do something about draw limit. Well, maybe draw count's the better variable to call that. Okay, so draw count. Okay, well, draw count at 0 not equal. Okay, then we have bool column row. Okay, let's take this out. Okay, and then this goes away. All right, and then we're going to do, well, I think the thing we're saying is we're going to draw things in the opposite order, so our stack test needs to be the opposite. Okay. Right. So while the count is not 0, we're going to subtract 1 from the count and draw that value. So draw count at, we have a plus plus. I don't think we have I think we just defined our own. Yeah, we got an increment. I really want a decrement now. Let's just define it. Okay, got the variable duplicated, look it up its value, subtract 1, and then assign that back to the variable. Okay, so we'll use that. If I can. Okay, drop count decrement. All right, now we can do a dupe 2. And that should give us column, row, column, row. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got drawing array. I want to access by drawing count to get the method on top. Is that the right thing? I think so. Drawing array, swap. Well, I want drawing array. Yeah, swap to get the count. And then at plus equal, right? Okay, so that should put routine name. Okay, so I've got the count. No, I don't. Okay, I've got the array. Well, I don't want to swap. I push the array, I push the count, I do add plus equals to get the routine name with column, row, column, row. Okay. Put the count on the stack first after dupe 2. Well, no, the access has got to be the array, then the count. So I think this will be good. All right, now we have a string on the stack. We can call, and then we should come back with column, row. That's it. Okay, so I think down here. Okay, so I think we're there. Okay, while the count is not 0, because it's counting down, we decrement the count. So if we started at 2, we don't want to do array sub 2. We want array sub 1 and array sub 0. Okay, so we'll decrement that count. We'll duplicate the column row on the stack. We'll push the array at the draw count at. So the contents of the array gives us, of drawing array gives us the address of the array. Draw count at gives us the count. And then we'll fetch. It's not plus equal. Okay, get there. All right, that'll give us the routine name on the stack. That should give us, it's like array at, but it does the increment based on the count. Okay, so it's an array access. That gives us a routine. We'll call it. It should take a column and a row, and then go back to the top, we've got the count one smaller, so this is heading towards 0. And if it's not 0, we've got column row here and column row here. We'll empty those. And I don't know, I've been kind of putting that there. Okay. Yeah, we need a draw routine. Okay, we got to push it on the stack. What does that thing want? Does it want draw head, draw routine? It wants that before the column and the row. Okay, we can do that. But again, I'm just going to save it in a variable. It's just too deep. Array count draw routine column row. Okay, so we stored the count. Let's store the routine. Okay. And then that has to be on the stack after the dupe. Draw routine at. Okay, and this is part routine, draw routine, call row. Okay, and then calling this takes these three and leaves us with column row. Okay, now we got to make sure our part routines do that. Draw helper 1. So part routine is going to correspond to draw helper 1. So he's got to pop 3 things off the stack. And same here, right? Okay. Well, let's take this code down. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, man. Why does it not recognize that? Oh, because I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, I never changed the name. And I'm letting our code test this kind of implicitly. All right, no red this time. And I think we have to run both these routines because we changed enough. Yeah. I'm a little worried there. Oh, I should change the number for that. Boom. Okay. All right, I think there's something. Is this right now? Part routine. Okay. Moves column row to the top after it pushes its value on the stack. Move the column row to the top. Oh, is that what's got to happen? So it's got to push the routine. Well, it's supposed to consume the routine, right? I mean, I think it's given part routine is given these three parameters and should consume them off the stack. But maybe the stack isn't the right place to do this. Um, yeah, we're I think our helpers are bad, because they're assuming they can throw stuff on the stack, and it's like there's no reason you get to throw stuff on the stack. I mean, our routine is defined to return nothing. I think returning it on the stack means we're throwing off other values. We're putting a one in there that nobody expects, so there's no good coming from that because they need column and row. They're not expecting a value. So I think they're going to have to do their own variables too. Um, but I think it won't be hard. I think they had to pop because the draw helpers are given three things, and the normal head routine pops them all off. Yeah, I could move it two steps down, but then like, well, I guess is that gonna work? Let's try it. If it's enough, it's a little funny, like manipulating the stack this way, but it's not. I don't think it's impossible either. Now, what went wrong up there? Okay, make rebel. Let's just take everything. Okay. B is 1. Right, because... Oh no, that's suspicious. Right, let's try this one. I don't know where the 1 came from, right? It should never have called test helper 1. Um, I don't know. Can I blow up? Um, no, it's not CAB. It's BCA. We want to put the first value on the third slot. Is that enough? I guess screwing up the stack is not a good plan, so let's see. I mean, he should never call test draw helper 1, and I'm not clear that he isn't. Yeah, it seems like he is. Let's be a little more clever here. I'm gonna make him pass 111 and 222. Whoops. Okay, but so if we see a 111, then we'll know that it did call that routine. Okay, so from here down. Oh, but we crashed again? Not yet. Okay. B is 1. Why is that being called? Where's that 1 coming from? Right? Partial array, don't call this. Okay, let's look at this from... Okay, we push the draw sum, which we don't actually use anymore. We push the 2 functions. We pass in column, row. Wait, test partial array. Where's our routine? Something's off. Draw partial body. Array count, draw routine. Okay, let's pass this thing in. Array count, draw routine. Array count, draw routine. I don't know where that 1 came from. I don't know what it is now either. I guess I'll draw this, call this, and watch it crash, right? Okay, but it is the address of something, so we have our suspicion there. Yeah, I was missing the draw routine totally. Okay, but unfortunately, that wasn't enough. All right, so we're passing in draw partial body gets the array pointer, array length or limit, routine, column, row. Array length, routine, column, row. Array length, routine, column, row. Okay, so that much seems okay. Now, what's going on? So let's take that empty case. Draw count is 0. Okay, so let's see. I guess I need to keep track of my stack a little better here. So draw array, then we have count, draw routine, column, row. And now we have draw routine, column, row. Okay, so this matches this. While draw count is not 0, do stuff. And then we get out here, it should pop. And I don't see why anything should be on that stack at that point. Okay, let's in do. And then here, let's print after odd dot dot dot. Okay, so we should see 3 things on the stack. Even if it's column, it should be column, row, and 22202. All right. Okay. All right, so let's test the empty. So I don't expect to see the in the do being printed. Right, so after odd, we have 3, 2. I don't know how that 430 value is there. Did I not pop something? Draw routine, swap at equals. Now here, 22202 should be the only thing on. Wait a minute. You actually have to put them in the array, not just slap them on the stack. Okay. Okay, that's more promising. And do after, yeah, okay. 111 being the result. Okay. Good. All right. This thing. Okay. So I think let's run the whole thing from scratch here. Make REPL. All that stuff. Okay, good. All right. Let's. Well. All right. Now I think. Yeah, zero case never enters the loop. I think we're ready to run this thing for real. Now, I saw something a little weird the other day, but let's make REPL. We'll try running it and then we'll move those tests around. And let me update our to do because I think we're probably getting a little off kilter here. '29. Draw remaining body parts for wrong guesses. We've done that, but now we need to draw individual body parts. Okay. But I think first we're just going to try the game. All right. I think we've got the pieces kind of together. Well, I don't know. We got. I mean, I guess I'm saying we're going to assemble this into the high level of the game loop. Right? Okay. So if it's a wrong guess. Oh, yeah. We got to get our game over. We just have a win. We don't have a lose. Make game over detect too many guesses. All right, but I got all these pieces. Well, so in game loop, we have that display routine. Okay, so I don't know where those columns are. Well, we know we want the display routine near the top. Okay, we want to leave read display there. Okay. Yeah, length dollar, make dollar, wrong guesses. I don't know. I just want to write the code and maybe backfill testing it or something. I don't know. It's yeah, it really is guesses, make dollar, length dollar, right, is our count. Okay, so do we put the what was first and what was second? Well, I guess column and row. I don't know what they are. Row 17, column 35. Okay, that gives us column, row, display, read display. I almost want to put a bar in here, like it's the stuff we care about is that. But now I got to do a CAB, pull the display up to the top. Display column row. And then, well, then I have to look and make sure what the heck we wanted to get and then passed in as arguments. Array, count, draw routine, column row. So I think we got draw routine, column row. Now we can do the count. Okay. And that gives us count, display, column, row, read, display. And then we need the array. I don't. I guess I'm feeling like I think I want us to look at the loop before we get this stuff complicating it. So we'll put those aside for a moment. Let's just take what we have. And I'm going to quit, make REPL, do it. And now we should be able to say fishy, is it hangman? I don't remember what I call. Oh, game init. Right, so that should set up the answer. And then I think we want to call read. Well, read is getC. Display routine is game display. Okay, so game display, getC, game loop. Now, I think the first thing I saw funny was we don't do a game display in here. So that's a little weird. right? So we should draw the initial empty gallows. But let's guess A. Okay, so we're where we should be now. FISHY is the underscores, and a wrong guess A, and then S is a good guess, H, F. Okay, so something's weird. Yeah, I thought I saw something like that the other day, that it stopped early. Okay, so that means there's something else going on wrong. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't see how game over does that. Okay. I mean, game over calls. Yeah, I'm going to just put some debugging code in for this. $, $, dot, compares clue and answer. All right, now clue is the thing with the underscores, and answer is the array version of our initial get, or initial clue, or initial answer. Sorry. So I'm a little puzzled. Game over. Dot arrow. Whoops. Dot arrow. Like that. Okay. I'll dot that. And I suppose I should probably do these that way too. We'll put an L. All right, and I don't know where those will print. Yeah, I mean this seems like pretty straightforward to me, so I'm not clear what happened there. All right, so I'll just take here down. Unfortunately, we don't have incremental stuff for this. Okay, and so let's try the same code or same guess clue. Oh, this may be bad. Sorry, let's make sure we're running on a clean copy, because we know we didn't reinitialize arrays and stuff like that. So I think it would be safest. Now maybe that applied before. I don't know if I thought I had a fresh start. Okay, so let's call display game once before we get into this, and then we want the read routine is second, so get C. The display routine is first, and then game loop. Word not found display game. Game display is what it is. Still got it there? Okay. Fishy game init. Game display. Game display. Nope. Get C. Game display. Game loop. Is that right? Let's find game loop. Read routine is first, display routine is second. So I have it backwards. Okay, so fishy. Yeah, so the current clue is all underscores. The answer is fishy, and then the stack is a 0, which is the false, and a bunch of underscores. Okay, and now let's guess. I think I did A first last time. Oh, it's not printing. Oh no, it's still okay. and then S H F. What? It makes me suspect our equal string, I guess. I don't understand why it would. Yeah, those are not the same. It's if it's got two underscores in it still, and this one has the word. It thinks it's comparing those two, but add equals comes up equals. I don't know how. All right. And I think we wrote that ourselves, and it was complicated. Equal dollar. Yeah, that's this thing. Equals. Well, that makes sense if he's got the answer on top and two more junky things beneath. All right, let's continue the comments. So equals puts a boolean on top, S1 prime, S2 prime. This swaps the order, CBA, S2 prime, S1 prime, boolean, and this just leaves the boolean, which is the result we expect. Okay. Well, let's make a little test right here. Test equals string underscores. All right, and we're going to say if blank sh blank fishy, and then, well, let's do our real thing here. Okay, so fish underscores fishy, and then equal dollar. Given S2, S1. Okay. And I think that's the same order we did. And then we expect 0 assert equal. Okay. Oh. Just copy. Oh. Yeah, it came up equal, all right. Oh, gosh. Oh, and this is that head to stuff. Oh, golly. Okay, so head to dollar. Let's make sure that looks right. Give it two strings, and it should put the two head characters on top of the two strings. We don't care which order the characters are in relative to each other or the strings. Head to. Okay, so head dollar gets the first character. We swap it around so the CAB is S1, C2, S2. Okay, yeah. Head dollar takes the head of S1. Yep. Okay, and then we pull the third one, C2, up to the front. I think that looks right. Okay, so now in our equals, we do head $2, so we turn those strings into characters on the front. We do a dupe 2, so we have 2 copies. All right. We'll say while equals. Okay, so I'm not. So we're going in here with C2, C1, C2, C1, C2, C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. All right. And the prime means it's trimmed. Okay. After equals, there should be boolean C2, C1, C2, C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. All right. Equals 0. This feels awfully hard. Equals 0 takes the top value. No, something's weird. I'm not getting the effect of an and. C1 and C2. Yeah. Okay, so C2, C1. If those two characters are equal, I'm trying to say while those two characters are equal and one of them is not 0, but I've got the bool sitting on top of the stack, and that's what we're comparing to 0. So the loop is really it's doing comparisons. I don't know. It's consuming these two for this, and then not leaves a boolean, and consumes a boolean and a character or something. Yeah, we need to do probably a BAB would suffice, right? We want to consume it. C2 bool, C2 C1, C2 C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. Okay. Now, yeah, equals 0 only consumes one value because we just want to know if the character is 0. So it's while it's equal and the character is not 0. Do puts a bool, then all this, which we may not need all that. I don't know. And this takes the bool to a bool. And all that. And this makes a bool, and then the rest. Okay. So now the bool gets consumed. C1, C2. I think we got C1, C2, C1. We got an extra C2 on the stack. No, I think it's still messed up because it's expecting 3. Oh, well, actually, it's trying to get rid of everything. Well, I don't know how much to fool with it, but I think this dupe 2 is really not necessary. We could have just duplicated one character. Well, no, it gets consumed here. BAB. Maybe this should be a swap. Or maybe it's BCA, push the Boolean down to and do a pop. All this stack manipulation is not a good sign to me. Some of it's necessary. We can't have C1, C1. We got to have different stuff. Okay, so this equals is fine to me, but I think maybe we should do a BCA. Get these two on top and the boolean on the bottom. Let's see if we can do that. BCA is C2, C1 boolean, and then the C2, C1. That's right. Is that right? So boolean C2, C1, C2, C1 goes to C2, C1 boolean, and then I'll do a pop. Okay, now we have a boolean, C2, C1, C1. Yeah, the C1 is superfluous, so there's something we did up here to get it that's a little funky. But I think we're consuming the right things now. Okay, so now we have C2, C1, S1. I think now we have this, and we just need two pops. I think this dupe 2, I don't know. Well, okay, top of the loop, C2, C1, C2, C1, C2, C1, S1, prime. Okay, so that looks kind of right to me, except this looks kind of wrong. The do has C2, C1. Okay. Yeah, it feels like more, I mean, mostly the change is this and then adjusting things, an extra pop in here or delete a pop. But, okay, but I think the C2, C1 thing, like, it seems like you have enough information here. Like, we could just do a BAB if nothing else. But I guess that's simplifying something that I think now should be closer to working. So let's just take this much in the test. Until those work, there's not really much we can work on. Okay, that's more promising to me. All right. Yeah, let's check that in. Okay, fix defect in. Oh, whoops. Okay, so I think, well, I think we can optimize it a little, and that's probably worth doing. Okay, so I've got C1, C2, C1. All right, so I'm gonna do a BAB here instead of a dupe 2. So BAB pulls up C1, and then the rest is the same. C2, C1, C2, C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. Okay, so the while comes in with just C1. Okay, and now he has a bool, and he doesn't have this baggage. C1, C2, C1, S1 prime that. Okay, now BCA puts that behind these two characters. I don't know. It's like we're still, well, let's do it. All right, he puts that there. We do a pop. Oh, he puts that there. Then we have C1. Yeah, I'm messed up here somewhere. Okay, C2, C1, 3, 6, 3, 6, 7. Okay, line 71. C2 is not there. BCA should be C1, C2 bool, right? C1. Oh, now this is not good. Or is it? I still need those characters, so I can't delete that much. So I'm going to consume the first 3 characters of this. That should be okay. BCA should be a swap. Should give me C1 bool, C2, C1, S1, S2. Okay, because we need the 2 characters at the end because we got to decide if we got out because they matched. Or if they're equal at the end, they must be 0. I guess that's what we're trying to say. Okay, so swap. And now pop I don't need to do, right? Because I just have the character. So bool, C2, C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. Bool, bool. And C2, C1, S1 prime. Okay, so that's this. Equal and not 0. Pop, pop. Get rid of the characters now that we know. We've already looked at them. Yeah, we don't need to keep them around inside the loop. We only need them outside. Okay, and then at the end, we've got C1. We need C1, C2, C1, C2, C1. Okay, so this is C1, C2, C1, C2, S1 prime, S2 prime. Okay. And then I think we need a BAB, same as before. Yeah. BAB. So this is repeating. Okay. So a BAB is going to be this plus this on the front. C2, C1, C2, C1, C2, S1, S2, C1, C2, C1, C2, C1. So it's 5 alternating. We don't really care, and this is a little bit weird, but we don't care that, we care that they're alternating. We don't care that which one it actually came from. C2, C1, C2, C1, C2 is just as good from our perspective. Because it's an equals test. If it were a sort or something, it would matter. In this case, it does not, I believe. All right, now it still feels like there's more coming around than you need. So the while at the end, C2, C1, S1 prime, S2 prime. That seems like the right stuff in 74. And that's definitely what you need here to do that equals test. And if they're equal, that means they're 0, which means they both got to 0 at the same time. And so it's a 1, meaning the strings are equal. And we still have the S1, S2, so we swap around so we can pop those. And reverse, we don't care about the order. We're just trying to get them on top so we can delete them. All right. Now I think this is good too. So what the error was, I guess it was getting off count. It was a boolean that didn't have 2 string arguments. Oh, sorry, it was a comparison that didn't have a character argument, it had a boolean on top. So it was comparing the booleans instead of comparing the character to 0. Yeah, we'll take the whole thing. Test equals string underscores. No, there was still a... All right, let's do it properly. No. Assert equal. All right, let's move our test. I don't know why. Well, I don't know where those are. Oh, they're down there. Okay. Right. So I can paste that test again and it should be fine. Well, we need to move it down. Let's do that. Good. Okay. Now let's try our game again. Fishy. Game init. Game display. Game display. GetC. Game loop. Well, got some stuff to get rid of. A, S, H, F, I, Y. Boom. Okay. Oh, yay. All right. ACP fix equal $. Improve, simplify slightly. Okay, good. All right, well, I think the next thing to do is pull this test stuff out and over into the other file. But I think let's take a break first. But yeah, we saw our game run. This is great. That means we're almost done with the game part. We had to get the drawing stuff in, but I think we're on track. I believe we'll finish that today or be very, very close. So very cool. All right, so 3 or 4 minutes, we'll come back, move our tests around, work on drawing the body, and then adding those extra routines for the whole body. All right, see you in a few. All right, welcome back. Okay, so we started to define this thing the other day. Update wrong body, draw between column row. I think this is our idea was this was going to call draw head. Where's draw head? Draw head wants the draw between the column and the row, and the body. This should look up the right drawing routine. So this is the routine that I think we want to call in the game loop, which is probably above it. Game loop has to have everything, so let's put it above it. And then what else? Draw a partial body. Okay, and yeah, this column row thing, it's annoying, but all right. So I said we're going to move stuff over first. So let's do that refactoring. It's so easy to screw this one up. All right, let's pull this up top. That's game loop. Okay, that's test. Test, test. Okay, and then those go in tests. They have to come before this. Okay, now this, I hope we had an equal string. Okay, strings equals strings. Yeah, let's put this test up here. And then I think this one basically verifies a fix for a problem when we compared a bool to equal 0 rather than the right character. Okay, that went in here, that's fine. Now these ones I just added, I guess they're going to be test drawing. All right, and then right. Okay, so test draw spy, that was kind of a helper test. Oh wait, is that the spy? This was the helper test. Test draw head. Okay. Need all these first. And double check there's no problems. Boy, switching to that yellow for compile so we could see the red versus red really was a good move. Okay. And get some space so we can tell we haven't done the other. The tests. And I didn't see any. And we'll run test all. Oh no. That looks like we missed some test runs. We added that squiggle signifier. Is it our expectations are wrong, or is it our... draw a helper that's not doing that. So A is the expected, B is the actual. Oh, we still have this in there. Test game loop, game over. See, I don't remember what that's from. All right, well, I think test draw spy was because the spy was so complicated. Sorry, this is the spy. Maybe the name is misleading, but it's so complicated. I did the spy check to make sure it was pulling in the right pieces, but it seems like some of these aren't doing that. All right, so let's get the prints out of here. Game loop. Well, where's that? Game over. Right. Okay. Test all, test empty answer. That's fine. But this is not. And this is in game over. String values differ. BDC. Well, let's look at test game loop. Okay, we pushed 90210. We push AA. Our reads are B and A. What was BDC? We call game loop with the display stub and the read loop. Read stub. Read stub gives us these letters in order as we call it. Wrong guesses. Make B. I'm just very puzzled. What is this string value test? Okay, let's run test game over. It's still going to be noisy. Right. Why game loop? Oh, so that's not the one that's complaining. Is it test title? That seems very unlikely to. Okay, so where's game loop in here? Test game. Test game, test hangman. Test title, test draw. So what was update clue first letter match? Oh, game wins. Game over. Sorry, test game over. I don't know. All right, we'll paste stuff and figure it out. Okay, now this one, test. Where's my spy check? Let's make sure that's running. Let's check test draw spy. Did I do that already? No. Or maybe I did, but something's wrong. Yeah, I don't know where BDC is coming from. Let's look for B. Well, test game loose does have an assert for B. But where DC would come in. Okay, let's we got a fresh run. Let's take all this. Should have some less noise anyway. And let's paste our tests in. Okay, game loop. Error, string values differ. BDC. Well, string to array. Yeah, I don't know if we removed the squiggle, but well, it's not in production, it's in the spy, but where BDC is coming from, I don't know. The only thing that crossed my mind was could it have been leftover stuff, but string to array is supposed to write a 0 at the end. DC. Well, let's look for DC. Oh, yeah. Game init. No, it's not. Let's look at game init. I think this is something that we've had before, that our game will never reuse wrong guesses, but our tests do. And so I think it's a question of the test running and putting something in there and another test getting it. So I think what I want to do here, let's do, we made a repeat thing. Let me see if I can find that. Repeat dollar. Yeah, so give it a character, an array, and a length. Then put that character at each slot until you do it. So I'm going to use that to initialize the array. Init. Wrong guesses init. Yeah, so it was 30. The array is wrong guesses, and the character is 0. Am I doing that right? character array length. Character array length. Okay. And actually, I'm going to make it 29. Okay, let's try it like this. This would be nice where if we could say wrong guesses count, or something like that. We feel like we had the array count still. That would fix this problem, or it would make it easier to write this loop. We do wrong guesses count, wrong guesses 0 repeat, or count -1 or something. All right, so take this, go back over here, clear it out, do this again, get the tests. That other test problem, I'm not sure what's up there. It could be a similar initialization thing too. Test all. Well, so from one problem to the other. Okay. All right. I don't know why that would do that now. Because we call game init, guesses, wrong guesses init at the beginning in game init. Let's make sure test game loop does the init. I think he must. Yeah, he doesn't init. Init stub. Wrong guesses init. Oh, and this, I deleted this. Guess says index 0 add equal. Okay, yeah, so we fixed that one. All right, let's. All right, and then these other ones. So our expected string has this twiddle, and the actuals do not, which I do find puzzling. Okay, because they're calling. I mean, they get 1-4- character this. Now, well, let's. Theoretically, this should not matter, but test draw index at ++, and then let's put one more character in there, the 0. Okay, just to make sure it's a proper string. All right, so all right, so I'm still. Oh no, I'm not. Make rebel. tests. All right, good. Okay, cool. All right, now making this. Where's game loop? Okay, so I think the thing I'm going to add to this is really BAB call, and it should still leave us with read display. But we call the display routine with nothing going on. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. So we had the initial display. I think that's fine. So let's add that. Rather than leaving that outside. Okay. Now let's address this. I think we just want to call update wrong body. Draw routine column row. Is that what it's getting? Not really. Game display. Oh, maybe there's nothing to do here. Update wrong guess. That's all there is to it. This is a display issue. I think this is totally the wrong place for this. Okay, so update wrong guess, update wrong body. I'm not sure that's really anything. It's really the display routine that needs to do it. Right? Wrong guess is right. He's got to pass in that body. Now, what's our routine that does all the work here? Draw partial body, expects, draw routine. Yeah, this stuff. Right, so let's move this up because it has to be above the main draw method. I don't think update wrong body is anything. Above game display. Well, this is drawing. Let's put it there. Okay. So body draw routine, draw partial body, right? So it needs this stuff. I'm just going to keep this somewhere I can use it. Because I just want game display to do that. And so it should say row and column. Well, the scaffold is 6. Let's find our picture. I had a picture with the body actually filled in somewhere. Here's one. Okay, so if the scaffold is row 6, 7, 8, and the body should be at 8, and then column, row 8, column, if this is 35, 36, 37. Draw routine is good old draw at. This is wrong guesses make dollar length dollar. And array is draw body array, which we haven't defined. Okay. So draw body array goes here somewhere. Or well, let's just say 10 array draw body array. And then we have a draw body init that needs to be called. And this is like this stuff. Okay, so we're doing these kind of things, and we have to do the same thing for the body. It's draw body array 0, and this should be draw head. Well, these we won't need yet. Okay. Maybe it'd be better to have them. 0, 1. We'll just put them, everybody drawing the head. Let me get 12. So that should be the limit. Okay, this is slightly defective, but it's probably accurate to where we are. All right, so this has to be called before, well, it's really part of game init. Okay. Now, somebody can call draw partial body. Okay. Now, I keep losing our display. Oh. There it is. Okay, link draw body array. Okay, so row, column, routine, length, array. And now we can draw whatever I called it. Body. Partial body. Draw a partial body. Okay. Does that work? I think that should be as much as we have right now. Well, I think that should work according to what we have right now, but everybody just draws a head. Okay. And I'm not going to test it other than visually at this point. So let's do that, though. That's a new one. All right. Okay, so fishy game init. And then game display, get character, game loop. Okay, big guess. Oh, we guessed off by one in the columns. Okay. That's doable. All right, so column 38, which really puts it in 40. All right, let's make ripple. Game init, game display, get C, game loop. All right, another X. All right, and if I guess Y, C, A, L, C, U, Z. Okay. Yeah, we're looking like it. Okay. I think we're ready to test our other drawing stuff into existence. Well, let's get this. Oh, you know, where's Hangman? We don't have one. Okay. That is fixable. After all this, okay, let's just define Hangman. And I just want it to take, I really just want it to do what I just did. Okay, except that stuff. So it takes a string. Now, I don't know what game loop. Okay. And then the result is empty stack. All right. Let me make sure that works before I commit. Well, can't do that until I pull the code in. Yeah. Good. All right. How did I not have a double quote? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's get these other drawings done. Okay, so draw head. Well, I'm going to do the tests as we go, I guess. Test draw torso. And then draw torso. Well, let's make him pop, pop, pop for now. Okay, so I'm going to copy this other test. Okay, so test draw index would clear that. We call one to just draw head. Let's draw torso. Okay, then we zap the last character on the test draw area. And what I expect to see is the row +1. The column should still be 4 and a vertical bar, followed by row 3, column 4, vertical bar. Okay. Now, do I have all that running? Not yet. Okay. All the spies. Test draw area. Yeah. Okay, I gotta put it over in the other in the test file. Probably should have moved those later, but oh well. Okay, so let's get all the tests. Okay. You're right. It should end with a twiddle. Okay. And now let's do the torso. Okay. Body draw routine. Swap. I hate having to do that multiple times, but that's okay. We'll just live with it. Okay, so we assign the body draw routine based on what we're given. We increment the column by 2. We do a bar. Well, I think we're going to have to do a dupe 2 here. We do a bar. Then we got column row string called body routine. We still have column row. And then column row. Okay, the column +2. The row has to be +1. Yeah, the torso, this is going to be the worst. Okay, so the column, we've added 2 to the column. Now I need to swap around. Swap 1 plus swap. Well, maybe I can break it up. Swap 1 plus swap. No, I think that's okay. So that brings row to the front, adds 1 to it, puts it second again. So it's column plus 2, row plus 1, column row. Okay. And then bar, all right, BCA brings column row string. Okay. Now this one, 2 plus. Now we got to do this again, but more. So this is row 2. Row plus 1, row plus 2. Okay. Bar, BCA does that. Let's see, column row. Well, this could be column plus 2 row, column plus 2 row plus 2. There's no extras now. Okay, so draw torso in the test. Ah, oh, close. Why is there no... Oh, that's my expected. I didn't put it here. Even after we talked about it, I thought I did. Test draw torso. Yay. Okay. And now we have to put draw torso in here. Okay. And let's take the rest of this. Oh, I guess I gotta pick something that's not in there. Hey, there we go. All right. Good, good, good. Okay. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna move the test over. Oh, because I keep playing with 2 different things. No wonder. All right. That's the one that's right now. Okay, so test draw torso. And then we need to put that in with the other tests. Draw head, draw torso. Okay. Okay, now we need... Well, we'll just keep going. Okay, and then the test. It's going to look more like draw head. Okay, test draw left arm. Okay, so draw left arm. Yeah, it really is. Let's implement it and then we'll make it similar. We'll extract a method. Okay, test our area. Now we should get row 2. No, yeah, 2. Column 3. And the part looks like this. Okay. All right, so let's get these. Good. I mean, fine. Yeah, doesn't do the right stuff. Okay. And then the implementation is also a lot like this one. Okay, so the column. Okay, we save that. Let's do a swap. Column is +1. Well, no. Row is, oh, column is +1 and row is +1. Character is less than backslash. Okay. Okay. Let's get draw left arm. Okay, and let's, did I check that in? No. Let's find the commonality there. Actually, this is kind of the better one. Because it has to update both those. So what I would like, well, let's make a draw common. Or draw body common. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just need offsets, but I'm resisting them because it's just a pain to get them, but I think we can. All right, so I'll have to do a CAB to get the routine on top. Okay, we'll save the routine. Then we've got, well, this is column, offset, row, offset, column, row. All right, and then we want to get CAB is column, column, offset, row, row, offset, row, and then do a plus. Column plus call offset, row. And then well, if I do BCA, now I'm putting that last. Do a plus, I get row plus row offset, column plus call offset, and then I guess I want column. Then I want the string. Oh man, I need extra. Yeah, we need a swap. Okay, and then we don't need this, but we need that string. I'm just gonna pass it on the front. And save it. Okay, so that gets the string. Body string, string column row, B, C, A, column row string. Yes, yes. Okay. So if I substitute this, the string is O. Sorry, it's the other way around. I got draw routine column row. First thing I got to push then is my row offset. Row offset is 0. Column offset is 2. The string is O. And draw body common. Does that work? Okay. And now I want to test draw ahead. Okay. Well, let's redo that. Okay. And I'm even thinking like, let's redo this part. My extract was not good. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Because I think once we finish that routine, I don't even know if I need to test the rest of those. They're all just going to be call this thing with this offset, this string. You know, there's nothing there to worry about really. So we'll see if we want to test them one by one or not. But if we can do the common routine, it'll all work out. Okay, so let's do that. We did try the game. But start at redo this, and we'll pick up there tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow 2 to 4:30 and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. See you then. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.